My name is Kim Stevens, and I want to talk with you a little bit about a product I've been using called the Star Spacer. It was originally designed to help children who have a hard time with spacing their written work. I'm an occupational therapist, and I've been working for over 20 years in a school setting. In that time, I've worked with many children who have a hard time with handwriting. Handwriting referrals are one of the most common reasons that children are referred to an occupational therapist. Handwriting is a pretty complicated process. Kids have to have good memory, they have to have an idea of what they're going to write, they have to have good visual perceptual skills and visual motor skills. And when there's a problem in any one of those areas, oftentimes the end product is messy handwriting. And when children struggle, that can lead to reluctance to do written work. It can lead to frustration. They can have behavior problems and certainly problems with self-confidence. So I had the idea to make a spacer, and I started using it, and I started getting good results. I passed a few out to some teachers and asked them to try them with some children and to see what they would get. And again, I got positive results from teachers and from students and from parents even.
So I have a student, and at the beginning of the year, I could not read anything that she wrote. It was all jumbled together. When she did an assignment for me, she had to bring it to my desk, and I had to have her try to figure out what she wrote, and half the time she couldn't figure out what she was trying to say. Once we started using the Star Spacer, it was amazing because I could read what she was writing, and instead of getting one or two sentences, I started getting paragraphs.
When I used the Star Spacer, it helped, and it looked nicer instead of one big word.
The first time I used the spacer, it was on a student who needed OT help, and I started with him and saw how great the progress he was making with it and helping with his neatness and spacing. But it really helped my students slow down and get their spacing correct and their neatness and all around with their handwriting, and it gave them the confidence to write more when they weren't even asked.
When I didn't have the Star Spacer, my work looked not good and nobody could read it. But when I have the Star Spacer, it slows me down and my work looks better.
I would recommend the Star Spacer just because I've seen it build confidence and allow children to have a chance to have success in writing that they couldn't have before.
I would recommend the Star Spacer for any grade level, not just first, which I teach. It really slows the students down, it builds confidence, and it definitely works on their spacing.
So if you have a student who's struggling with handwriting, try a Star Spacer.